On October 14, 2012, a lot of people watched as a skydiver went really high up in the space, then jumped back down to 120,000 feet. He broke many records and even went faster than sound. But guess what? This amazing event wasn't done by NASA, SpaceX or any other space agency. If you look closely, you'll see the Red Bull logo. It's just one of many cool things Red Bull does to get attention. In 2023, Red Bull sold more than 1.5 cans for nearly everyone in the world. But they are not just about selling 12 billion cans of energy drink. They also own 2 Formula 1 teams, 5 pro football clubs and an ice hockey team. And let's not forget about their media production. So how did this simple energy drink, which began as a medicinal syrup in Thailand, become not only one of the biggest game changers in the beverage industry, but also one of the most brilliantly marketed products ever? Chaleo Yoovidhya grew up in rural Thailand where his family farmed ducks. They didn't have much money for school. So Chaleo worked on the farm, but his life changed when he went to work in Bangkok with his brother selling medicines. He saved money and in 1956 he started his own small business named TC Pharmaceutical Industries. At first, TC Pharma sold imported medicines like antibiotics. But then Chaleo saw that herbal tonics from Japan were popular. So he wanted to make his own energy drink. However, Chaleo noticed that the energy drinks were very expensive and mostly aimed to richer people. Coming from a poor background himself, he realized that it was the hardworking folks like construction workers and farmers who really needed the energy boost. So, after checking out the drinks formulas, he made his own version with caffeine, B vitamins and taurine. But what made Chaleo's drink special? It had lots of sugar, making it taste better and giving an extra energy kick. He called it Krating Daeng. In Thai, Daeng meaning red, symbolizing determination, and Krating referring to the gaur, a large wild cattle species. Starting out, Chaleo handed out free samples to truck drivers who needed to stay awake during the long shifts. He promoted it as a way to boost energy and focus. Through word of mouth, it gained popularity among Thailand's working class. With the money he made, Chaleo began sponsoring Muay Thai matches, a popular martial art in Thailand. This not only gave his drink more exposure, but also linked it with energy and strength. It was a smart move because other energy drinks were pretty standard back then. But Chaleo focused on building a brand. His drink became a symbol of resilience for the working class. By 1980, it was a huge hit all across Thailand. Things were about to take a turn. In the summer of 1982, an Austrian businessman named Dietrich Mateschitz experienced jet lag during a trip to Thailand. There, he came across the energy drink Krating Daeng. After trying it, he felt more energized and his jet lag disappeared in a few minutes. He became a big fan of the product. Although Chaleo was the one who originally created the drink that would later become Red Bull, Dietrich Mateschitz played a crucial role in shaping the business into what it is today. Known for his bold and creative ideas, Dietrich saw potential in the drink. However, at that time, it was only available in Thailand. Dietrich decided to leave his dull job and sought out Chaleo to propose a business partnership. He wanted to introduce Chaleo's energy drink to European consumers. After some convincing, the two men joined forces, each investing $500,000 of their savings. They agreed that Dietrich would handle the operations while Chaleo focused on the product. In 1984, Red Bull officially launched in Dietrich's home country, Austria. However, before the launch, they conducted customer research to gauge European audiences' response to the product, and it wasn't positive. Test groups found the taste unpleasant, and market research indicated that the drink was perceived as unhealthy and unappealing. Despite the discouraging feedback, the two founders remained focused in their belief of concept and pushed forward. However, they did make some important adjustments based on the feedback. They carbonated the drink and switched to a slimmer, sleek silver can to give it a more upscale look, setting it apart from competitors. To position it as a premium product, they priced it nearly double to what consumers were paying for other carbonated drinks. While this high pricing seemed risky, it would later prove pivotal to the company's success. Additionally, they coined the now famous slogan, Red Bull gives you wings, to convey the idea that the product provides energy, focus and potential. In 1987, Red Bull was finally ready to be released to the West. At first, Red Bull used clever and cheap ways to make people notice their drink. They gave it to popular students in college who then threw parties where everyone could try it. They also hired attractive girls to hand out free cans at universities. Plus, they gave bars free coolers to make cocktails with Red Bull. These ideas worked well and Red Bull sold over 1 million cans in the first year. But they actually lost money because they gave away so much for free. However, they knew that investing in the brand early on would pay off later. And they were right. By the second year, they sold double the cans. And by the third year, they are popular all over Europe. Instead of spending lots of money on TV ads, Red Bull decided to sponsor extreme sports like cliff diving. This made people think of Red Bull not just as a drink, but as a cool lifestyle. Red Bull became associated with daredevils and high adrenaline activities. At start, Red Bull only had one flavor and it didn't taste great according to the tests. But surprisingly, people kept buying it. When asked why they didn't make it taste better, Dietrich said Red Bull wasn't just about the drink itself, but about creating an experience. Red Bull wasn't just a beverage company, it was a storytelling company. They wanted to draw people into their exciting world rather than just selling a product. So they did more than traditional marketing. They bought sports teams, made their own media, and hosted big events. Today, Red Bull sponsors over 500 athletes in different sports, from football to esports. This not only promotes their brand, but also brings in money. They even created their own event called Fluke Tag, where teams build flying machines and compete to see how far they can fly. Red Bull doesn't just stick to sports. They also sponsor art and music events like Lollapalooza. By 2012, they were even sending daredevils to space, setting records and capturing global attention. After such events, Red Bull sales often go up, showing that their investments paid off in the long run. What's interesting is that Red Bull doesn't always push their drinks during these events. For example, when Felix jumped, you didn't see him drinking Red Bull afterwards. That's because Red Bull's marketing isn't pushy. They aim for brand recognition by associating themselves with the exciting things. In a world full of ads, this subtle approach works. It feels we are watching something cool, not a sales pitch. These bold initiatives created buzz around the brand and generated media coverage, extending its reach far beyond the traditional advertising channels. This marketing approach is known as guerrilla marketing. It is a creative way of advertising that doesn't rely on traditional methods like TV commercials or billboards. Instead, it surprises and engages people with unconventional tactics. Through this marketing technique, Red Bull aims to create memorable experiences that stick in people's mind and get them talking, with unique activities or visuals in public spaces, relying on word of mouth and social media to spread the message. Red Bull is a marketing giant known for pushing the limits in everything they do. The strategy is simple yet powerful. Create content and experiences that captures people's interest, even if they are not thinking about energy drinks. They go all out on producing top-notch content and organizing unforgettable events. This approach has made them one of the most buzzed about brands globally. Their content strategy excels in 3 key areas. Firstly, they maintain a high standard of professionalism across all their content formats, whether it's videos, blogs, posts, or landing pages. Their content matches the quality expected from major media outlets, ensuring it engages their target audience effectively. Secondly, they skillfully promote their brand without being overly promotional. Instead of pushing their product, they focus on providing enjoyable content for their audience. This helps establish a positive association between their brand and the content consumers love. Thirdly, and most importantly, Red Bull targets topics that resonate with its audience, such as extreme sports, concerts, and music festivals. Their content spans areas where people might enjoy or need a Red Bull boost. For example, consider this video. It's a dynamic, exciting, and tailored to appeal to people who love extreme air stunts. Red Bull's next move involves throwing or supporting events that their target audience already loves attending. Whether it's music festivals, film shows, or crazy sports like cliff diving, Red Bull makes sure to be there. Why is this smart? Because the people they are trying to reach are already at this event. Red Bull's fans are usually adventurous and active, often into wild stuff like extreme sports or music fests. So Red Bull joins in where they know their fans hang out. Think about Coachella for example. It's this huge music bash that lasts for days in the desert and fans don't want to miss a beat. Sometimes they need an energy boost to keep rocking all night long, and that's when Red Bull comes in, giving them the wings and energy they need to stay hyped up and keep the party alive. Next up are Red Bull's own events like Red Bull Crash Dice or Red Bull Queen of the Bay. These events shine a spotlight on specific sports like ice cross or surfing. They are all about celebrating the sports and getting fans excited while also spreading the word about Red Bull. Then there are sponsorships. Red Bull sponsor events like the Electric Daisy Carnival in Las Vegas or Coachella. It's a smart move because who goes to these events? Yep, you guessed it right, their target audience. Plus, sponsoring these events lets Red Bull introduce its brands to new crowd since tons of people attend them. Red Bull also invests millions of dollars every year to promote their products and make sure they're the first thing people think of when they want an energy boost. Their famous tagline, Red Bull gives you wings, is featured in most of their ads, which you can often find on online or TV commercials. With this slogan, the company wants to appear young, dynamic, modern and sporty, and to tell you that you can do anything once you drink a can of Red Bull. Here's an example of Red Bull ad. These ads use a technique called pattern interrupt. It's super effective in sales because it can instantly change how people think and make decisions. Instead of sticking to their usual responses, it shakes them up a bit. Most of us have our everyday routines and habits, especially when it comes to buying stuff. We might automatically say no thanks to a sales call or delete an email without even reading it properly. But when you are the one trying to sell something, you want to grab people's attention and make them really listen. That's where pattern interrupt comes in handy. It breaks their routine and gets them to pay attention to what you're saying. Red Bull has mastered this concept in their advertisements. Sometimes these quirky ideas can have unexpected outcomes. So when Red Bull said it gives you wings, it mentioned that it boosts your energy, helps you stay alert, and makes you feel refreshed and active. But it's just a figure of speech. If you take it too literally, things can get really awkward. That's what happened in the US when someone sued Red Bull for not giving them wings. Sounds crazy. Yeah, we know. But that's how it went down. In that case, the court ruled against Red Bull for false advertising and ordered a settlement of $13 million. Red Bull has faced criticism from many experts for its controversial and sometimes aggressive marketing tactics. Some believe the energy drink company is to blame for several deaths caused by risky stunts performed during the sporting events or film shoots sponsored by Red Bull. For instance, in 2009, Canadian ski jumper Shane McConkey had an accident during Red Bull filming session. Similarly, in 2013, 25-year-old athlete Celeb Moore died during a snowmobile stunt at the X Games, also sponsored by Red Bull. There have been other incidents like these. Despite the criticism, Red Bull has made remarkable progress in the 30 years since its start. From its humble beginnings to becoming a major brand, Red Bull's journey is a marketing success story. Feeling overwhelmed? Remember, every organization starts somewhere. Red Bull didn't become a huge corporation overnight. It took time, luck, hard work, and lot of smart marketing along the way. If you enjoyed watching the story of Red Bull with me, make sure to give me a like. Definitely comment what are your thoughts on Red Bull's aggressive marketing strategy. And please subscribe for more such amazing content in the future.